Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Educational Reel. In this tutorial, I will tell you about CLR. So what is CLR? CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. To make easier to understand, I will first explain the CLR with the help of diagram. So in this diagram, you will see the CLR is providing an environment which is converting the source code into native code. But before converting into native code, the source code is first converted into bytecode, that is MSIL code. After that, it converted into native code. In this diagram, you will see when you are using C hash language, then it will use C hash compiler to convert the source code into MSIL code. Similarly, for VB.NET, it will use VB.NET compiler and it will convert the source code into MSIL code. Other language will use the other compiler. So after converting into MSIL code, the MSIL code is converted into native code with the help of CLR. In this, there is the use of JIT. What is JIT? It is just-in-time compiler. With the help of just-in-time compiler, the MSIL code is converted into native code. So the process from source code to bytecode conversion is called compile time, whereas from bytecode to native code is called runtime. Now I will explain in detail. So let's start. CLR is a runtime environment that manages and executes the code written in any .NET language. CLR is the virtual machine component of the .NET framework. That language's compiler compiles the source code of application developed using .NET compliant languages into CLR immediate languages called MSIL, that is Microsoft Immediate Language Code. This code is platform independent. It is comparable to bytecode in Java. Metadata is also generated during compilation and MSIL code and stored in a file known as the manifest file. This metadata is generally about members and types required by CLR to execute MSIL code. A just-in-time compiler component of CLR converts the MSIL code into native code of the machine. This code is platform dependent. CLR manages memory, threads, exceptions, code execution, code safety, verification, and compilation. Now, if anyone asks you what is the feature of CLR, you simply can say that first feature is manages memory. In this, you can say memory allocation and deallocation, that is garbage collection. Second, thread execution. Third, code execution. Fourth, code safety verification. Fifth, compilation, that is convert MSIL code to native code. And last, sixth one is code security, that is grant permission to execute code, code level, folder level, machine level. Now, what are the main components of CLR? So the first one is CTS, that is Common Type System. CLS, that is Common Language Specification. Third one is garbage collection. Fourth one is just-in-time compiler. And the last one is metadata and assemblies. Now coming to detail. So the first one is Common Type System. CTS provides guidelines for declaring, using, and managing data type at runtime. It offers cross-language communication. For example, VB.NET has an integer data type and C hash has an int data type. For managing integers, after compilation, int32 is used by both data type. So CTS provides the data type using managed code. A common type system helps in writing language independent code. CTS provides two categories of types. First one is value type, second one is reference type. A value type stores the data in memory allocated on the stack or inline in a structure. This category of type holds the data directory. If one variable's value is copied to another, both the variables store data independently. It can be of inbuilt-in types, user-defined, or enumeration types. Built-in types are primitive data types like numeric, boolean, char, and date. Users in the source code create user-defined types. An enumeration refers to a set of enumerated values represented by labels but stored as a numeric type. Second one is reference type. A reference type stores a reference to the value of memory address and is allocated on the heap. Heap memory is used for dynamic memory allocation. Reference type does not hold actual data directly, but holds the address of the data. Whenever a reference type object is made, it copies the address and not actual data. Therefore, two variables will refers to the same data. If the data of one reference type object is changed, the same is reflected for the other object. Reference type can be self-describing type, pointer types, or interface type. The self-describing types may be string, array, class type that store metadata about themselves. Now, second one, that is CLS, full form is Common Language Specification, contains a set of rules to be followed by all net supported languages. The common rules make it easy to implement language integration and help in cross-language inheritance and debugging. Each language supported by .NET Framework has its own syntax rules, but CLS ensures interoperability among applications developed using net languages. Now, third come garbage collection. Garbage collection is a component of CLR that works as an automatic memory manager. It helps manage memory by automatically allocating memory according to the requirement. It allocates heap memory to objects. When objects are not in use, it reclaims the memory allocation to them for future use. It also ensures the safety of objects by not allowing one object to use the content of another object. Now, fourth one is just-in-time compiler, JIT. JIT converts the MSIL code into native code, as we have discussed in the starting of the video. The .NET program is compiled either explicitly or implicitly. The developer or programmer calls a particular compiler to compile the program in the explicit compilation. In implicit compilation, the program is compiled twice. The source code is compiled into MSIL during the first compilation process. The MSIL code is converted into native code in the second compilation process. This process is called JIT. There are three types of JIT compilers. The first one is pre-JIT compiler. Second is eco-JIT compiler. Third one is normal JIT compiler. Pre-JIT compiler compiles entire MSIL code into native code before execution. Eco-JIT compiler compiles only those parts of MSIL code required during the execution and removes those parts that are not required anymore. Normal JIT compiler also compiles only those parts of MSIL code required during execution but places them in cache for future use. It does not require recompilation of already used parts as they have been placed in the cache memory. Now, fifth one is metadata and assemblies. A metadata is the binary information about the program, either stored in a CLR portable executable file along with the MSIL code or in the memory. During the execution of MSIL, metadata is also loaded into memory for proper interpretation of classes and related information used in code. So, metadata helps implement code in a language neutral manner or archive language interoperability. Now, assemblies. An assembly is a fundamental unit of physical code grouping. It consists of the assembly manifest, metadata, MSIL code, and a set of resources like image files. It is also considered a basic deployment unit, version control, reuse, security, and permission, etc. Architecture of CLR. CLR contains class loader, IL compiler, code manager, garbage collector, security engine, type checker, thread support, BCL support, COM marshaller, exception manager, and debug engine. Class loader. This will load classes into CLR. IL compiler. Convert MSIL code into native code. Code manager manages the code during execution. Garbage collector. This performs automatic memory management. Security engine. This enforces security restriction as code level, security folder level, and machine level security. Type checker enforces strict type checking. Thread support provide multi-threading support to application. Base class library provides the classes that the application needs at runtime. COM marshaller allows .NET application to exchange the data with COM applications. Exception manager provides a mechanism to handle the runtime exception handling. Debug engine allows developer to debug different type of applications. That's all about the CLR. Hope this video will help you. Although if you have any question, please text me. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day. Bye.